The massive auditorium of America's Got Talent hums with restless excitement. Thousands of people whisper, laugh, adjust their seats, and wait for the next act. The judges sit in their glowing panel, reviewing papers, sipping water, or chatting casually. The air feels thick with anticipation, the kind that comes right before something unexpected. Backstage, a 15-year-old boy from Cebu breathes slowly, trying not to let the roar of the crowd crush him. His name is Liam Santos, and though he's young, he carries a weight inside him. A dream his grandfather planted years ago, a dream he promised he would pursue. Liam smooths the sleeves of his outfit, an Elvis-inspired suit tailored with a Filipino touch. Dark navy blue fabric with gold embroidery patterns inspired by Sinulog designs glimmers when it catches light. He doesn't look like a typical impersonator, he looks like a modern young artist honoring the past. His hair is neatly styled in soft waves, not forced or overly theatrical. Natural, clean, but with a hint of Elvis flair. A stage assistant kneels beside him and whispers, "You're on in 5 seconds, ready?" Liam nods, but his throat feels dry. He presses his hands together and whispers something to himself, maybe a prayer, maybe a message to his grandfather in heaven. His mother watches from behind, hands clasped tightly, eyes full of nervous hope. The screen above the audience lights up. Next act, Liam Santos, Cebu, Philippines. The crowd reacts with interest. It's not often they hear someone coming all the way from the Philippines, especially a kid stepping into an Elvis-themed spotlight. People lean forward, curious. Judges glance at each other, intrigued. The voice of the stage announcer echoes, "Please welcome Liam Santos." A single spotlight cuts through the darkness, illuminating the center of the stage. Liam steps forward. His movement is small, careful, almost hesitant, but once he's out there, the stage seems to swallow his fear in a strange, comforting way. The audience sees him, slim, young, neatly dressed, holding a vintage-style silver microphone in both hands like it's a fragile treasure. His eyes scan the massive venue, nearly overwhelmed. Heidi smiles kindly. Sophia tilts her head, immediately charmed by his innocence. Howie gives him a small wave, encouraging him. Simon, however, examines him with that trademark mix of curiosity and skepticism, the look that says he's preparing to be surprised or disappointed. "How are you?" Sophia asks warmly. Liam leans toward the mic, his voice trembling slightly. I'm good, thank you." "And what's your name?" Howie asks. "My name is Liam Santos. And where are you from?" Heidi jumps in. "I'm from Cebu, in the Philippines." There's a soft ripple of applause, a few cheers from Filipino Americans in the audience who instantly beam with pride. Liam's shy smile flickers. "What will you be doing for us today?" Simon asks, hands folded. Liam takes a breath. "I'll be singing, an Elvis song." Sophia's eyes widen. "Elvis? Really?" Liam nods. "My Lolo, he loved Elvis. He played his songs every morning. I want to honor him." Simon raises an eyebrow. It's a bold choice for a young teen. Many fail at impersonations, especially Elvis. The crowd murmurs again, unsure what to expect. But Liam doesn't look like he's here to imitate. He looks like he's here to remember. "All right then," Simon says, sitting back. "Good luck." Liam nods and turns slightly toward the music cue. A hush falls. The entire auditorium shifts into silence, waiting. The opening notes of "Can't Help Falling in Love" float in, slow, soft, acoustic. Not the bold, theatrical version people expect. It's stripped down, emotional, intimate, perfect for a heartfelt performance. Liam closes his eyes. His fingers tremble around the microphone. For a second, he remembers standing on his Lolo's porch as a little boy, singing softly while the warm Cebu breeze carried the melody through their home. He opens his mouth. The first note he releases is gentle, but stunning, clear, smooth, deep for his age, but not forced. The tone is unmistakably Elvis-like, warm, golden, yet fresh, young, refreshing. The audience's reaction is instant. Several gasp. Some sit up straighter. Sophia's eyebrows shoot up, and Heidi's hand moves to her chest. But it's Simon who reacts most sharply. His eyes widen, his mouth pulling into an astonished half-smirk. He leans forward, studying the boy like he's looking at a rare musical gem. Liam continues, his voice gaining confidence with every line. He doesn't mimic Elvis's exact inflections. He allows emotion to guide his tone. creating a version that blends tribute with authenticity. A modern, youthful echo of the king, not a carbon copy, but a rebirth. As he moves into the second part of the verse, his fear melts away, his shoulders relax, his breathing steadies. The stage lighting shifts from white to soft amber, bathing him in a warm glow that makes him appear almost ethereal. The crowd watches in complete silence now, not out of boredom, but reverence. It's rare for a performance to grab the attention of an AGT audience this quickly, this completely. The boy from Cebu is doing it. He is holding them in the palm of his hand. Judges glance at each other with that silent, unmistakable look. This kid is special. Liam reaches the end of the verse, eyes glistening slightly. He isn't thinking about winning or impressing anyone. He's thinking about his grandfather, about Cebu, about everything that led him to this stage thousands of miles away from home. In this moment, under the blazing spotlights and the watchful eyes of millions, the Cebu kid isn't shy anymore. He's stepping into his destiny. The first verse drifts into the air like a warm breeze, and Liam's voice wraps around the auditorium with a softness that feels both nostalgic and entirely new. The crowd, who moments ago was restless and buzzing, now sits frozen in collective awe. Not a whisper, not a cough, nothing but the vibrato of a Filipino teenager who is suddenly transforming the entire atmosphere. As the music shifts into the second verse, the lighting transitions to an even deeper gold, as if the stage itself recognizes the emotional gravity of the moment. Liam's eyes remain half-closed, focused inward, connecting to something far beyond the physical space of the auditorium. From the judges' panel, the reactions intensify. Simon is no longer sitting back. He is now perched on the edge of his seat, elbows pressed into the desk, jaw slightly open. It's the look he only gives when the performer on stage is doing something extraordinary, something he did not expect. Sophia whispers to Heidi, but her microphone picks it up softly enough for the audience to hear. "I've never heard a kid sing like this, not with this feeling." Heidi nods, eyes glossy. He sounds like someone who lived every lyric. Howie shakes his head gently in disbelief. "This is unreal." Liam reaches the second verse, "Take my hand." The line comes out with such purity, such warmth, that several audience members instinctively bring their hands to their chests. Some couples even clasp hands with each other, pulled into the intimate magic created by a boy from half a world away. But what truly elevates the performance is not just Liam's vocal ability, it's the emotional precision behind it. He doesn't oversing, he doesn't push. He lets every word rise and fall naturally, as if carried by his heartbeat rather than his lungs. Camera operators, sensing the moment, zoom in closer. We see the tremble in his eyelashes, the soft curve of his lips as he breathes through the more delicate notes, the earnest vulnerability in his posture, shoulders slightly rounded, hands gripping the microphone as if grounding himself. There is nothing pretentious or performative about him, just pure, unfiltered emotion. Halfway through the song, Liam opens his eyes, and the moment he does, something shifts again. Suddenly, the room feels smaller, intimate, almost sacred. He looks upward, not dramatically, but meaningfully, as if directing the song to someone no longer present on earth. The audience senses this. Even the judges feel it, as he sings the line, "For I can't help." His voice cracks just slightly, not from a lack of control, but from the weight of memory. Yet he recovers with a breathtaking smoothness, turning what could have been a mistake into an authentic emotional highlight. Sophia wipes the corner of her eye. Heidi takes a deep, shaky breath. Howie nods, whispering, "That right there, that is soul." Simon doesn't move, not even a blink. He is stunned. He studies Liam like he's witnessing an unpolished prodigy, the kind that appears once every few seasons, a performer so naturally gifted that they don't even know their own power yet. The audience remains frozen, rows upon rows of people leaning forward, lips parted, some with tears forming. Even the upper balconies, usually harder to engage, are locked in absolute stillness. The acoustic arrangement begins to build ever so slightly. A soft swell, O. F strings, a gentle rise of the piano, and Liam leans into the crescendo, letting his voice broaden in warmth. His tone becomes fuller, more confident, but still dripping with sincerity. He shifts his weight, stepping closer to the front of the stage. The movement is small but adds a burst of presence. His voice grows, the golden light intensifies. He is no longer the shy Cebu kid speaking softly into a microphone. He is an artist, and everyone knows it. A woman in the third row mouths the words, "Oh my God." Another wipes tears from her cheek. As the final chorus approaches, Liam doesn't try to mimic Elvis's boldness. Instead, he chooses subtlety, controlled emotion. His voice floats above the music with a haunting tenderness, like a message carried through time. The judges are motionless. They aren't just listening. They're feeling. Then, as the final line approaches, "For I can't help falling in love with you." Liam takes a small breath, centers himself, and delivers the ending note with breathtaking clarity. It's not loud, not flashy, not showy, just delicate, perfect, glowing with intention. He holds the note, gently, beautifully, then lets it fall away like feathers drifting to the ground. Silence, the kind of silence that only comes when a performance is so powerful that applause feels like an interruption. For a full second, the entire arena is simply stunned. Then, a roar erupts. The entire audience jumps to their feet. Thousands rise simultaneously, creating a wave of movement and sound that crashes over the stage. Cheers, whistles, claps, a storm of admiration. Some people shout bravo, some scream yes, some simply cry while clapping. The judges stand too, joining the ovation. Sophia claps with both hands above her head. Heidi presses her hands together, overwhelmed. Howie looks around, laughing in disbelief. And Simon, in a rare display, gives a slow, proud nod. The nod he saves for only the most special performers. Liam's eyes widen, stunned. He brings one hand to his chest, unable to believe what is happening. Tears swell, blurring his vision as he stares out at the sea of cheering faces. He had hoped people would like his performance. He never imagined he would move a nation. The standing ovation continues so loudly and so passionately that the stage floor itself feels like it's vibrating under Liam's shoes. He stands there, trembling, trying to hold himself together as thousands cheer for him with the kind of energy usually reserved for superstars or legendary returning champions. Not a quiet boy from Cebu making his first appearance on an American stage. The golden lights of the auditorium illuminate his teary eyes, making him look almost unreal, like a character from a movie who wandered into real life. Confetti cannons aren't firing, not yet, but the magnitude of emotion in the room feels heavy, warm, overwhelming. It takes nearly a full 30 seconds before the applause even begins to fade. Judges remain standing the entire time. Simon is first to sit, but not because he's unimpressed. It's the opposite. This is his ritual. When he sees something extraordinary, he sits forward, composing himself, choosing his words carefully. Finally, when the applause dims to a softer, excited buzz, Simon lifts one hand, signaling for the audience to settle. It takes a moment, but eventually the roaring quiets enough for him to speak. "Liam," he begins, his voice softer than usual, almost reflective. "You know, I've heard a lot of Elvis tributes. I've heard a lot of young singers. But what you just did—" He pauses, pressing a hand lightly against his chest. "I felt this right here." The crowd erupts again, and Liam's breath catches. Even he has seen enough AGT to know. Simon Rar. Ely praises this deeply. This personally. Sophia jumps into the moment before the applause even finishes. "That wasn't just singing," she says, voice still emotional. "You didn't imitate Elvis. You revived him. You honored him. And somehow, you made the song sound brand new." Liam covers his mouth with one hand, overwhelmed. Heidi leans forward, her eyes shiny with unshed tears. "Your voice is special," she says warmly. "And your heart, oh my goodness, your heart was in every single word. I felt your love for your grandfather in every note." Howie lets out a laugh of disbelief. "You know what's crazy?" he says. "You didn't look nervous. I mean emotionally, yes. But vocally, you were steady as a professional. This might be one of the best young male vocal performances we've had on this stage." The audience cheers in agreement. Liam's lips tremble. Thank you so much." His voice cracks, and his eyes flood again. This is for my Lolo. He taught me to love music. He used to tell me I should share my voice with the world, so I came here. I wanted him to see me, somehow." A soft, warm murmur spreads through the audience. The moment has shifted from impressive to deeply touching. Even the camera operators zoom in, capturing the sincerity etched in every line of Liam's face. Backstage, his mother wipes tears from her eyes and clasps her hands tightly over her mouth. Crew members around her nod with quiet admiration. Sophia looks at Liam, her eyes glistening. She turns briefly to Simon, then back to the boy. You know, Liam, moments like this don't happen often. She steps her hand closer to the judge's button panel. The audience senses it instantly. A wave of excitement surges through the room. Screams, shouts. People stand again in anticipation, hands cupped around their mouths. Liam steps back instinctively, unsure of what's happening. His hair. RT is pounding so loudly he can almost hear it over the crowd. Sophia looks at him with a radiant smile and says, "You deserve this." And with one swift, decisive movement, Sophia slams the golden buzzer. Boom! A massive explosion of golden confetti bursts from above, cascading down like a glittering waterfall. The stage glows as if it's finally revealing its full magical potential. The lights shift to the brightest, warmest gold, bathing Liam in shimmering waves of color. The audience goes wild. People scream, jump, cry. Some wave Filipino flags they brought for other acts, thrilled that they now have a reason to celebrate them. Liam's knees buckle instantly. He falls to the floor, both hands covering his face as tears stream uncontrollably down his cheeks. He tries to breathe, but the emotion hits him like a tidal wave. Disbelief, joy, grief, gratitude, all merging into one overwhelming moment. Sophia runs toward him across the stage, laughing and crying at once. She kneels beside him and pulls him into a warm, supportive embrace. "You earned this," she whispers. "You earned every bit of this." Liam sobs harder, unable to form words. The confetti keeps raining down. Golden flutters stick to his hair, his face, his microphone. The entire stage is transformed into a breathtaking world of gold, as if the heavens opened to honor him. Backstage, Liam's mother rushes out, hands trembling, tears streaking down her face. She runs to her son, falling to her knees in front of him, pulling him into her arms. The two cling together, shaking with emotion, illuminated by thousands of tiny golden lights drifting down around them. Judges stand, applauding him. Howie claps with a proud grin. Heidi presses her hands together as if in prayer, overwhelmed by the beauty of the moment. Simon nods slowly, appreciation written in every line of his expression. Then, in a mome, that becomes instantly iconic. The camera captures Simon saying, under his breath but caught clearly by his mic, "He's going to be a star." Liam hears it, and it breaks him all over again. He cries harder, holding on to his mother, the confetti falling like blessings from the sky. This is no longer just an audition, no longer just a tribute, no longer just a performance. This is the moment a Cebu kid stepped onto the world stage and claimed it. This is the moment AGT will replay for years, a moment people will remember as the night gold fell from the sky, because a boy revived Elvis and awakened the world.